So that was a pretty hard watch, I must say. So In Her Hands is a brand new Netflix documentary. It just got released in the last week or so, I think, but I didn't get a chance to watch it until last night, and so here is the review on this documentary. In Her Hands follows Zarifa Ghaffari. She is one of the youngest and one of the first female mayors elected in Afghanistan. She was elected to a province called Maida Wardek, and the film opens up around the time the fall of Kabul happened. It was about midway through last year. Zarifa can be seen amongst a crowd of people, giving a speech, giving a protest, telling them to put down the gun and pick up the pen, which would ultimately become the point and the underlying theme of this entire documentary. After we see this protest, we flash all the way back to January 2020, which is kind of where all the bits and pieces, all the dominoes start to fall from here. And the documentary shows Zarifa's journey throughout this period. It shows all the policies that she's trying to implement. It shows all the things she stands for. She goes through a lot of hardship throughout this film. It is really, really raw. Everything that's taken is filmed on an iPhone, I'm pretty sure. There's lots of parts where you see one person filming her with a shot from the back, and then there'll be someone in front of her literally just with an iPhone. I don't know if the whole film was filmed on an iPhone, but it looks like it could have been done so. And I wouldn't expect them to be walking around with huge cameras and huge things like this, especially when there's really like tender emotional moments like Zarifa's father who was killed in an attack, and then, you know, she's trying to see him for one last time in this little van. The only way you could really film that is probably with an iPhone, and that's what this documentary really shows, that you can do so many things with just the camera on your phone. And that's how a lot of the news during the fall of Kabul happened. You know, a lot of people were getting all their news from social media, all the pictures, all the videos, everything was going out onto Twitter. It was because people had access to smartphones. And if we didn't have access to smartphones, you'd think just how much less we would have known about what was going on at the time when the Taliban took over and Biden pulled the US forces out of Afghanistan. This doco overall is really, really good. It's really hard to watch because everything is real-time footage. It hasn't got any dramatizations, any dramatic retellings going on here. It is everything that was filmed during that 19-month period is here for us to see in this documentary. It is not super enjoyable in the sense that you're not going to feel good after watching this thing. You're going to feel a lot of sadness, let's be honest. A lot of the stuff that happens in this documentary is really raw, really, really difficult to fathom that people could treat each other this way, especially with the things that the women go through in this film, and also all the families who are simply just caught in the crossfire of this war between extremists and the government. The people who always suffer the most are the ones who have nothing to do with either side's cause. You know, so it is really harrowing to watch essentially a country just tear itself to pieces, and you see people, there's those clips that you would have seen on the news of people hanging off the US Air Force planes while they were flying, just trying to escape with their lives. So this one is a really tough watch. If you want to watch something that is very real, like a very real documentary about something that's happened quite recently where you may not have had all this extra information to digest and I guess kind of understand why the fall of Kabul happened, then definitely check this one out here. It is a brilliant piece of documentary filmmaking. It's all really well put together. It's all stitched together really well. The pacing of the doco is really good too. I like that it did start 19 months before the fall of Kabul. Like, it gave us a little bit of an opening into Zarifa and her family life, and we really get attached to her as a character and as a person in this film. So that's why I'm going to give In Her Hands an 8.5 out of 10. So tell me guys, has anybody watched In Her Hands? If you have, comment down below, let me know what you thought about it. Yeah, this one was really, really good. As far as docos go, I do really prefer this style where everything is real and everything that you see is what has happened. There's no dramatic retellings, there's no dramatizations, nothing like that. It is an hour and 40 odd minutes of just real-time footage of people just trying to survive one of the worst moments of their entire lives as a country just falls apart once the US forces pull themselves out of there. So that was the review, guys. Hope you really enjoyed it. As always, click through to another video. We'll keep having some fun. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.